Hello, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. In the previous episode, we had yet another murder. This time, the culprit got to the scientist Anna, who we met briefly in the first episode, I think. And I'm not sure I had an opportunity to spend time with Anna the night before, and I didn't. And now I kind of feel that I might have been able to save Anna, possibly, if I'd gone on a date with her. But we don't know that. Anyway, now we are in front of a Ministry of Culture and something, talking to a minister lady. She right here, who wants to know what's my take on all of this and what am I going to do and what the hell is going on. And to her question, I answered that finding Reza, the other human who had gone through the portal to this land of dragons, who is suspected of these murders, is in fact beneficial to my whole mission here on planet Dragon, wherever we are. Not sure if she believes me. Well, after reading up on the whole situation and hearing both your accounts, I believe that ReettaJ is trustworthy. Thank you, ma'am. Nevertheless, I think ReettaJ presents a great risk. Why is that? After this meeting, I will hold a press conference to inform the public of the current situation. People must know of the danger posed by Reza. No matter what Bryce I think about your involvement, the public could feel differently. You, me, Bryce, we will have to face the backlash resulting from this information becoming public, and what's more, ReettaJ, you might be in real danger yourself. Reza himself may come to silence you once he learns that you are helping us, or considering the public uproar from those who would question your involvement. All things considered, it would be for the best if you return to your own world until the situation has been resolved. I came to the very same conclusion, Minister. Then, with your support, this is what shall be done. Please don't. You don't agree? If you send me back now, this diplomatic relationship is over. I'd have to admit defeat to humanity. There's no way I can return without your generators, our PDAs, or Reza. Maybe you could explain to them what a great choice of an ambassador Reza was. But I was his partner, so in a way, he is my responsibility. I can't just go back like this. I'm afraid that's not enough. It certainly doesn't outweigh our reasons for sending you home. Just let me explain. I'll tell you everything. And then I tell them everything. Years ago, I'm going to tell everyone everything, okay? Fine. Years ago, our world was prosperous. Our technology was far more advanced than yours, even. Computers not only graced every household, but every single person. It was the age of information. Even children had the power to access the most advanced knowledge at their fingertips. With our PDAs, our interconnectedness with other people and our environment was greater than ever. From locomotion to repetitive work and household chores, many processes were automated to such a degree that, except for our jobs and hobbies, there was nothing that needed to be done by a person anymore. Even the concept of someone wielding a weapon was outdated, as wars were no longer fought by people but machines. Oh, that's such a lovely future. I do hope that will be reality one day. Looking back, it was probably the single most prosperous time in human history. Exploitation of the environment and other people was at an all-time low, as was crime. Conversely, our technological advancements has drastically increased quality of life. Humans were no longer required for strenuous and repetitive tasks. Education had reached an all-time high and many new jobs were created. General happiness had reached levels never before seen. Yet one day everything changed. What happened? What? A A solar flare that was headed for Earth was detected by an automated monitoring system. It was determined to be so powerful that it dwarfed all others ever recorded in history. We had less than a week to prepare. Chaos hit much earlier than that, as people scrambled to shield themselves and their possessions from the incoming iron storm. On a worldwide level, power lines were switched off, satellites reoriented in space, and planes are grounded to mitigate, yes, that's how you pronounce that, the effects what could hit us. Despite humanity's contingency plan for such an event and all our efforts, we were still not prepared for the sheer magnitude of the solar flare that arrived. It was only then, when our race had become so dependent on technology, that we were immeasurably vulnerable against this kind of disaster. That day, a force within the power of 10 billion Hiroshima bombs was unleashed into our atmosphere. The eyewitness reports from this day were varied as they were terrifying. Oh, that's like Aurora Borealis, Northern Lights. A huge, beautiful aurora could be seen on the horizon before the fireballs hurled across the sky. Okay. In some places, these lights became so bright that even those asleep at night awoke, as though day had already arrived. A coronal mass ejection by itself did not have the power to kill anyone directly, but the side effects were disastrous. I wonder if this kind of thing would actually be possible. After the lights in the sky arrived, sparks showered from electrical outlets everywhere, igniting rampant fires in every town and city. Facilities that stored weapons, fireworks, or other explosives became centers of widespread destruction and loss of life. During the next stage, the solar flares started to affect body modifications and caused commonplace pacemakers and nanomachines to fail. 15% of the world's population died as a result of this alone. Once the full power of the waves hit us, however, society as we knew it collapsed in one fell swoop. Power grids on Earth shut down in an instant, and did all the machines that automated our routine tasks, as did all of them. Long-distance communication and transport became a thing of the past. Without electrical power, the quality of healthcare plummeted, and water and sewage systems were crippled. Diseases we thought defeated centuries ago made their comeback in a most unsightly fashion. Many thought the end of the world had arrived in a way it had. Some people blamed whoever their belief system would allow, angry at the gods that had forsaken them. Others pointed their fingers at our lifestyle and society, not that anyone was listening. Practically, we were back in the Middle Ages. Governments collapsed and were overthrown, and the ensuing power vacuums filled with groups of people that were sometimes organized, sometimes not. The few functioning electronic devices left became rare, sought-after artifacts over which battles and even wars were fought. Of course, there were also wars over resources and territory. The weaponry used was improvised or reclaimed from the days when humans had been present on the battlefield. It had been ages, but people returned to the old, bloody ways of war. Humanity is in shambles now. Those that I'd call family and friends now live with me in a giant, mostly self-sufficient city-state of survivors. A huge wall around the perimeter, guarded by militia, prevents any outside interference. It's the only way we can retain a modicum of order. Gangs of raiders and looters run rampant on the outside. They wouldn't hesitate to kill first and ask questions later if they had known about my PDA. Interesting. Our contained community has flourished for years now. We have homes to live in, crops to grow, and livestock to raise, and we still have our own automated hospital that runs on salvaged generators. Lately, though, supplies have started to run low, and dangerously so. The power we have is running out. Illnesses are spreading through the city. The treatment isn't available as it used to be. Our population is dropping by the day. We took a great risk to increase the radius of our scouting missions, desperate to find something outside the wall that could help us. And you already know the rest of the story. We found the portal and you. Now you know why this whole thing is so important to me. All our hopes lie in acquiring the generators you promised us. The act of sending Reza and me here has without a doubt already cost lives of some people back home. Beyond the city wall is a dead zone. We haven't heard from any other settlements for months now. The state of the rest of our world is unknown. When Reza and I were sent here, my peers made it clear that this was our last chance. If anything happens to us, no more people will be sent. If we can't manage to bring back something that will help, we'll have sealed the fate of the tens of thousands that live in our city. I'm sorry, Reetta. I didn't know. Well, I didn't know. Apparently, apocalypse was a thing that happened. If what you're telling me is true, unfortunately it does not work in your favor. As sad as your situation may be, it gives Reza a motive. Desperate times call for desperate measures, after all. In that vein, it also gives you a motive. Considering the gravity of the human plight, it gives you all the more reason to collaborate with him. I'm not. What Reza is doing is wrong. You can't send me away under these circumstances, because I'm your best bet at finding him. Even so, you would still be in grave danger after we announce Reza's involvement in the murders. I cannot and will not take responsibility for the consequences when I know of the risks. What about our deal then? In the wake of this new information, and as a sign of goodwill, we will send the generators you are owed through the portal once this is over, under 2 conditions. Humanity must condemn Reza's actions, and we must reclaim the stolen PDAs. I've changed my mind. You should let Reetta stay here. I cannot take your word under consideration in this matter, Chief. Taking into account Maverick's actions and your responsibility for them, you will have to be dealt with separately. With my authority as a minister in charge of human visit, my decision is to have Reetta sent back to the human world through the portal. Please, immediately. No! I'm not done here! Chief, please arrange for an escort to take Reetta to the portal now. I could do it myself, Minister. Well, we have our own matters to discuss, Chief, and I would rather get that over with as quickly as possible. In that case, one of my officers should be here any moment. I arranged for him to meet us here. How handy. Then let us wait for this officer of yours. It didn't take long for Sebastian to arrive. After the situation was explained, he was visibly shocked, but didn't protest when he was given the task of sending me back through the portal. Let's go, Reetta. Don't I even get to say goodbye? Let us not waste any more time. You will still be free to send letters after you arrive to the other side. Just go, Reetta. Come on, then. No! We were silent, and Sebastian and I slowly made our way to the portal. With each step I took, I drew closer and closer to the hopelessness waiting for me in the ruins of the human world. All in all, I certainly had a unique experience alongside these dragons, and although this place was filled with just as much drama and murder as back home, I would remember this world and all of the people I met. I would fondly think back to the days I spent in their comfortable standards of living, a shadow of how humanity used to be. Even without the generators, at the very least I'd be returning home with a few life lessons.
What's going on here?
Lost in thought, I hadn't even noticed Adine approach. It's none of your concern. Please leave. Can't I even get a few minutes before I go? I suppose nobody's stopping us, but make it quick.
Hey, Reetta. What's going on here?
Something serious happened. Looks like I have to leave.
Right now? Why?
It was the minister's decision, not mine. You'll hear all about it soon enough.
Does this have anything to do with what I've been hearing? Is Reza really a murderer?
I'm afraid so.
Oh. Well, what does that make you?
I don't know anything. I don't have anything to do with that. I was helping the police to find him.
Then why are you leaving?
They don't want me to stay here with all this going on. It's for my own safety.
Well, it was nice to get to know you at least.
Likewise. I guess I should get going.
Goodbye, Reetta.
Goodbye, Adine.
I remember her. That was the witness from Reza's first murder. Did you know her?
A little. Yes, a little.
I see.
A few minutes later, we arrived at the portal, standing proud as ever in defiance of the elements. How many years had the structure survived before it was found?
I hope I can remember how this thing works.
Are you joking?
Yeah, sorry. I got it.
Alright. I suppose it's time for us to say goodbye.
Let's keep it professional. I don't like to mix personal matters with work.
I can respect that. He looked away and I shrugged. Go ahead, turn it on then.
Would you stand between the pillars, please?
Of course. I took my place and stared towards the horizon while I thought about what would happen now, in this world and others. Even if I made a break for it, I'd become a fugitive no better than Reza. It would be near impossible to investigate the case by myself, while on the run in a world I knew so little about. At the very least, I took comfort in the fact that I did everything I could to help, even if it turned out like this. Nevertheless, I dreaded going back empty-handed and returning to my old life in our ruined city. Any second now, the teleportation process would start, disintegrating my body before I would reappear on the other side, back in my dying world. I wondered if there was any risk of getting lost somewhere between worlds. We didn't really know how the portals worked after all. Maybe I would be flung somewhere else in space-time, or it might affect my body in some way. I hadn't noticed any unusual changes in my body since I arrived in the dragon's world, but I had no way of knowing if there were potential long-term side effects. I still remembered the images I saw when I teleported the first time, the vivid sights and patterns, people and situation I have recognized since then. It only took a moment to arrive to the other side of the portal, yet it felt like I had dreamt 1,000 dreams. And during the nights I spent here, these dreams often reappeared. Anytime now, I would undergo the same experience again. I was almost relieved that my adventure was over. Things had turned out far differently than expected. I evaded danger, got swept into a murder investigation, and met incredible, intelligent beings from several different species. It had certainly been a time to remember. With that thought, I closed my eyes and braced myself for the moment that would come any second now. Any second now, but that moment never came. The next thing that did happen was that I heard Sebastian's voice.
It's not working.
Are you joking again?
No, really. It's not working. Wait, what is this? Someone has been sabotaging the thing! It's broken.
Can you fix it?
I don't think so. This doesn't look like a simple act of vandalism. It looks like some parts were torn out.
Well, shit.
I guess that means I'm not leaving, huh?
Not yet, at least.
Well, what do we do now?
Let's head back. The chief has to know about this right away.
They're going to accuse me, aren't they? We were back at the ministry before long. Emera and Bryce were still outside as Remy approached the two of them.
Here are the case files, Emera.
Well, thank you.
Reetta and an officer. What's this about, Emera?
That is what I would like to know. Please, officer, enlighten me. Why has my order not been carried out?
The portal is broken.
It's broken?
Yeah. Looks like someone tampered with it and stole parts. I couldn't even get the interface to turn on.
We'll check it out once I'm done here. I suppose Reetta will stay with us a little longer after all. Seeing how this is an emergency situation, I will make this short. Chief, as a result of your carelessness regarding Maverick and Reza, you are temporarily moved from any duties related to the humans. Given these dangerous times, you will instead serve as my personal escort until further notice.
Considering the circumstances, you will be allowed to coordinate the investigation of the portal, but after that, you are immediately returned to me to start your new task. Understood?
Understood.
Then, all of you are dismissed.
She turned to leave, Remy trailing after her. Well, this sucks. Alright, let's head to the portal. That includes you too, Reetta. Of course. Out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a sheet of paper on the ground. Hey, what's this? Nemera probably dropped one of the case files.
Either her or her assistant.
You better bring that to her. Sebastian and I should hurry to the portal. Meet us there afterwards, okay? Sure.
Can I read what it's in the paper?
I picked up the sheet and started reading. It was about what had happened when I met Reza at the portal. Of course, it didn't say anything I didn't already know. Oh, as I walked up the stairs, I wondered if it was okay for an unauthorized person to enter the building. All I knew about the place was that Emera worked here. I did have an important document that was going to be missed, so I walked inside only to be greeted by an empty lobby. Luckily, there were some signs directing me to Emera's office. It didn't take long to find it, and I heard voices when I approached the door.
By the way, what happened to the scroll you brought me this morning? The last time I saw it, it did not have that tear.
I dropped it.
Tell me something new for once.
Okay, someone else dropped it.
Am I supposed to believe that? Remy, are you aware of how much this costs? Repairing and replacing artifacts is not cheap. I am afraid we will have to deduct this from your wage again.
I see.
You're not doing this on purpose, are you?
Of course not.
You have been working for me for a long time now. I expected you to learn at some point, but you are very resistant to do so.
Not wanting to listen to this any longer, I decided to knock. There were a few seconds of silence.
Please come in.
I only opened the door long enough to hand Remy the sheet of paper. I think you dropped this outside. After I closed the door and started to walk away, I heard the voices resume.
This is one of the case files you requested. You must have dropped it.
Then why was it left outside? As my assistant, you should have paid more attention. If this got into the wrong hands, someone could get in trouble.
There's something going on there.
And I'm not sure what it is, but I'm sure,
that something fishy is going on here.
Also, Torstai is playing with a used handkerchief. It's kinda gross. But I guess that's better than any cables. She's a weird cat. Okay, moving on. I made my way back to the portal and arrived shortly after Bryce and Sebastian. Well, I can confirm that it is not turning on.
I told you that already.
Just wanted to be sure.
You really think it would still work with a jump crypt out of it?
Hey, I'm not an engineer. We don't know how the portal works. It was worth another try. There you are, Reetta. What do you make of this? I'm afraid I don't know any more than you do. I'm not an engineer either.
In that case, we should start thinking about the who and when.
There are patrols assigned to the portal and surrounding area day and night. If someone tampered with the portal, they must have seen something. Today's day patrol didn't notice anything unusual, though.
I guess she just missed the part about the portal being vandalized.
It'd be easy to overlook. It's a small part of the machine. It's not like she was expected to check every square inch of it with each lap around the area.
What about night patrol then?
When I went over the reports this morning, I noticed the night patrol hadn't handed theirs in yet.
Who was patrolling last night?
Let me think for a minute. The schedule always goes in certain order, so last night would have been... Maverick?
Damn. What is it?
The night patrol for last night would have been Maverick. I got wrapped up in all the recent chaos and forgot to find a replacement for him when he went on sick leave. Maybe Emerald was right to take me off the case.
So, there was no night guard here at all?
That's right. Whoever it was had an easy time doing whatever they wanted. Could it have been Maverick? If he knew no one was going to be here, he could have used that knowledge to his advantage. He couldn't have known that I'd forgot to find a replacement, though. I don't usually slip up like this.
What about Reza?
Why would he have done it? He'd be cutting off his only way out. No, he'd be doing something smart. If he has the pod needed to get the portal working again, he's in control of who gets to use it. He's cutting off our ability to communicate with mankind.
We wouldn't be able to inform them of Reza's actions.
Maybe we shouldn't have kept the investigation secret for this long. If your theory is true, that would be proof that Reza's actions are his own, not humanity's.
Hey, I already trust you on that. Or it's a stunt to grant humanity plausible deniability.
No way. Things are too dire for the humans to take such an extraordinary risk, especially for that.
I'm sure that wouldn't be the only reason they'd benefit, though. There must be something we're not aware of.
Maybe we're looking at this from the wrong angle. If no one was here to guard the portal, anyone could have broken it. It doesn't necessarily have to have anything to do with Reza or Maverick.
But they still have the greatest motives.
Sure, but they definitely aren't the only ones to have one. There could be private groups who are interested in the technology or its significance as human artifact.
So that puts us exactly nowhere.
At least as far as speculation is concerned, it's about time for forensics to show up. Anyway, let's hope they can pull some clues from all this. Sebastian, can you take it from here? You've been just as dedicated to the case as I have. Since I'll have to be at Minister's side for a while, I'd like you to take charge of the investigation for now.
Thanks, Chief. I won't let you down.
What's up with that anyway? Being appointed as Emera's bodyguard as punishment just seems strange to me. Are you kidding? I could have lost my job. This is way better outcome. Honestly, she probably did it for her own sake more than anything else, but I'm not complaining. If that's all, I'm going to head back to the ministry. I shouldn't keep her waiting. Whoosh. So, what does that make you now? Temporary chief?
More like case leader. By the way, you won't need to stick around while forensics does their job. Thanks for helping. I assume you can find your way back to your apartment.
Yeah, of course.
Alright, I'll see you later then.
See ya.
Bye.
I considered spending my free time roaming the town, but decided that it would be best to keep myself out of the spotlight. After cooking myself a rudimental meal, I considered picking up another book when a doorbell rang. Hello? Who's that?
Hey, Reetta.
Hey, Sebastian. Do you need my help again?
We're just a small-town police department, and with Bryce removed from the case, our resources are thinner than ever.
I understand. So, what do you have from me?
First up is the primary witness in the latest murder, Damien, the victim's assistant. He was the one who found her body. A few things have changed since this morning, and as we've gotten some additional information from forensics that warrants further questioning. I know you knew the victim personally, so you don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'll leave the choice to you. You can find her assistant at the production facility. You seemed interested in that underground building found near Portal. I realized you might actually be able to help us with that, since it's suspected to be of human origin. Your opinion would be greatly appreciated.
I guess I should add archaeologist to my resume then.
Maybe human matters consultant would be more appropriate.
Do you really think it's okay for me to tamper with your priceless discoveries?
Oh, you wouldn't go actually there in person. I just want you to take a look at the collected information in the archives and give us your opinion.
Aw.
Besides, no one is allowed to visit at the moment. The building is old and unstable, and there is a danger of it collapsing or flooding. Obviously, we don't want either of those to happen.
Flooding?
Yes. The whole building is underground, and we've determined that there is a rather large pocket of water surrounding it. Any kind of disturbance could endanger everything and everyone inside.
I see.
We also located another witness for the latest murder. A store clerk reported seeing and hearing something, so it's probably worth to ask him a few questions.
Got it.
Here are all the details. Visit me at the department once you're done.
Sure thing.
Okay. It was interesting that they still relied on me for their investigations, even after they tried to send me back to my world. I didn't expect them to allow me to help with police matters after everything that happened. Now that the possibility of sending me back was eliminated, the advantages of having me on their side apparently outweighed the risk. Though I had to wonder who would have to be more careful from now on. What should I do? Let's go to the production facility first. How did you speak? I don't remember.
It was kind of like this, probably. Yeah. Hi, Reetta.
Lauren, right?
Yep. Did you get a chance to think about what I told you last time?
Don't worry. I didn't lose your number. They keep me pretty busy, so I don't really have much free time.
Well, if anything changes, give me a call.
I will.
I gotta go now, so take care.
You too. Why were you here? This should be the right place. Hello? Anybody here? Oh, it's you again. What do you want? Can I ask you a few questions? What about? Anna's murder. Ugh. And who are you to go around asking questions like that? I'm working with the police on this matter. And I'm supposed to believe that, for all I know, you could be the murderer and not just here to find out if I know something that could implicate you. Well, according to my information, you didn't particularly like the victim. Not only were you the last person to see her alive, but you were also the one who found her. As you may imagine, this warrants some questions. You know what? I don't have to listen to this. I don't know who you think you are, barging into my workplace and barking questions, but if you really are with the police, let them know that I won't say one word to them on the matter without a lawyer. Okay. I wondered if Damien was a suspicious person in general, or if the rumors surrounding Reza were affecting his perception of me. Before this, everyone I had talked to during my investigations had been rather cooperative. But then again, Damien did have a point. I don't have any credentials to show that I am actually working with the police. I could just be bullshitting my eyes out. Before deciding my next move, I returned to my apartment for a moment of rest. A small piece of paper had been slipped under my door while I was gone. Don't go to the portal was all it said. I considered the possibility of a hidden message, but it was unlikely. The statement was blunt and quickly scrawled. Someone clearly didn't want me to go to the portal, but why would I go there in the first place? As it was out of order right now, such an action would serve no purpose. I looked outside the window at the portal's faint silhouette in the distance. The paper rustled between my fingers as I fidgeted with it, wondering about the message's sender and significance. My train of thought was violently interrupted by a sharp burst of gunfire echoing from the portal. I had to think fast. The gunshots ensured Reza's involvement. He was at the portal. The question was, why? If this was his attempt to flee back to the human world, he would receive a rather unpleasant surprise the moment he would try to use the portal. Or maybe Sebastian's theory was correct and Reza held a part needed to repair the portal, in which case his escape could be imminent. The gunshots themselves were another question. Was someone trying to stop him? The police patrol may have seen him and he may have been taken by surprise. This could be another murder in progress. But all of his murders were committed with a sharp weapon before now, not a gun. He didn't want to be heard. Besides, it was only early evening and the town was still bustling. If Reza wanted to stay hidden, he was doing a rather poor job at it. Of course, there was also the possibility that he wanted to be heard, but who would he want to attract? The police? Maverick? It could easily be a trap for those hunting him, and that technically included me, though I wasn't sure if he knew of my involvement in the investigation. It was also a very real possibility that he knew my apartment was close enough to the portal to hear a gunshot. Could it be a signal for me? Regardless, the words I held in my hands were unmistakable. Don't go to the portal. What should I do? Stay inside, call the police, go to the portal. I'm gonna stay inside and call the police. Not going to go to the crime scene. Ultimately, I trust the mysterious message. No, that's not what I do. Oh god. This game is taking me to all the wrong directions here. Remy's list of phone numbers given to me when he brought me to this apartment in the first place proved to be a valuable tool. I dialed the emergency line and was greeted by a calm voice asking me about my emergency. The gravity of the situation was understood, and I was advised to stay inside until further notice. A team was dispatched to deal with the situation while I waited. From my window, I tried to catch a glimpse of what was going on at the portal, but I couldn't see much. The dark of night was fast approaching. About an hour later, I was informed the team had searched the perimeter, though no trace of Reza was found. I was given a go-ahead to continue with my investigation, but I was free to stay where I was, if I felt unsafe. Okay. Crap, should I have gone to the portal then? Fine. I will visit the police archives. I was on my way to the police station when a voice called out to me. Hey you! I'm talking to you, human. Oh, you are a new one? Hello? Can I help you? I certainly hope so. I'm in a little conundrum here. My card seems to be stuck. I can't see that. I am Katsuharu, by the way, the local ice cream vendor. Reetta, you've probably heard of me by now. Of course, of course. In any case, do you think you can spare some time to help me out? It might take a while though, so I hope you are not in a rush. Actually, I am kind of busy right now. But I do want to help him. But I am kind of busy right now. Oh crap, this. Oh, choices. How do I do this? I don't know. Sure, okay, fuck it. Yeah, I'll help you. Thank you. Now, I already tried just pulling it out, but I think the axle is going to break if I try to do that again. It wasn't really in the best condition to begin with, honestly, and I had heard a creak when I tried to pull it out earlier. So, what do you want me to do? The cart is pretty heavy, so I'll be the one lifting it and holding the wheel steady so the axle doesn't break. Once I give you the sign, you'll start pulling, and hopefully that'll do the trick. Alright. Here, grab the handles and wait for my signal. By the time I had gotten into position, Katsuharu was already on the other side of the cart, getting dirty as he slowly lifted the affected corner of the cart out of the muddy hole. Is that your sign? Should I start pulling now? Do it now. I started pulling, but the cart turned out to be much heavier than I expected, and I didn't move. What are you waiting for? Do it already. I pulled harder, but the cart still refused to budge. I mustered all my strength before I pulled as hard as I possibly could. Yes, do it. Slowly the cart started moving, and after a few seconds it was freed from the perilous clutches of the muddy puddle. With a dull thud, the dragon set the cart down again before he flopped on the ground exhausted. Hey, we did it. Yeah, good job. Do you want me to call you some help? No, just need some rest. And maybe some ice cream. Yes, I'll have some ice cream. And I'll be better in no time. That must be some pretty good ice cream. No, you have no idea. You must have already heard people talking about my wonderful, unique ice cream experience. Actually, no, not really. Now, where are my manners? I haven't even properly thanked you yet. That's no problem.
No, I insist. I won't be indebted to you for helping me. What are you planning? You are hereby invited to join me for ice cream. As an ambassador, you owe it to yourself and humanity to try it. Maybe I do. Well, I must get going for now. Here's my number. I'll get you that ice cream some other time.
Thanks. Okay. I helped Katsuharu and got an achievement for that. How nice. It's getting late. I better head to the police station now. Do I have everything? Alright, let's see what Sebastian will say to this. I have nothing! For God's sakes!
There you are, Reetta.
It seems to me you've taken a liking to Bryce's chair.
Maybe. I could get used to this. Don't tell Bryce, though. By the way, good job calling the police when you heard Reza. It's too bad he got away again, but maybe a witness will come forward and we'll find out what happened. Now, let's take a look at what you've got for me. This isn't much information to go on, but who knows when it could come in handy.
I do what I can.
I know, and your help is greatly appreciated, believe me. Especially since we're so short on staff right now. That'll be all for today. I'll contact you if we need anything.
Of course.
See you next time.
See ya. But I have nothing! I have absolutely nothing! Shit! Free day, what should I do? Oh, and now Katsuharu has replaced Anna in the possible dates that I have. Okay, well, this didn't really proceed anything, but I'm going to end this episode right here. This is such a delightful game. And also very weird. And also I feel like I'm doing all the wrong decisions in here. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this. If you liked it, let me know. I hope you're having a great day and I will see you again next time.